Track 5. Exam Practice 4. Listening Paper 3. Part 1. You will hear 3 different extracts. For questions 1 to 6, choose the answer A, B or C, which fits best according to what you hear. There are 2 questions for each extract. Extract 1. You hear part of a program on the subject of interior design.
Upmarket developers have long been aware that to leave a house undressed is to risk losing potential sales. Carefully chosen furniture and fittings encourage prospective buyers to imagine living in a property and evoke a certain lifestyle. This idea is being pushed to the nth degree in London's super prime market, however, where purchasers are being lured not simply with tasteful decor and designer furniture, but with pieces of fine art. The art on display, available for purchase by separate arrangement, comes from a range of periods to give the impression of a lived-in home stretching back over several generations. I asked selling agent Melissa Cora if many people actually took the bait.
Well, the idea of buying a house full of art that bears no relation to the lives of its future inhabitants may seem odd and unimaginative, but let's not overlook the fact that not everybody has the know-how to go out and source something appropriate to go on the wall. When they were busy gathering their fortunes in oil, gas, metal or whatever, these people didn't have time to go to art galleries, and they're often the first to admit that they haven't got a clue when it comes to interior design. So this is a way of buying in the expertise, and agents are tapping into that.
Extract 2. You hear part of a discussion about an online car-sharing scheme.
I must admit I was a bit apprehensive about using the site initially. After all, you end up stuck in a car with total strangers, which is a bit daunting. But now I couldn't imagine going back to commuting as a lone driver again. I mean, much as it makes sense financially, it's the social aspect I wouldn't want to do without. The 4 of us have really hit it off because there's always something to chat about. So it's a painless way of doing one's bit for the planet, actually.
That's not unusual either, and car-sharing sites don't only cater for commuters, they're used for just about any journey, from students going to college to mums doing the weekly shop. It goes without saying, of course, that you can hardly expect every online match to come up trumps. Even if getting to work on time is not what's at stake, pick-up and drop-off times and locations need to be stuck to, otherwise tensions can surface. But there again, not everyone's in a position to guarantee what time they'll be free, so there's always the option of mixing and matching to get around issues, like getting a lift to work with one person and a lift home with another.
Extract 3. You hear part of a lecture on the subject of conceptual art.
How do you prove that you own a work of conceptual art? This is an interesting issue given the trend towards the dematerialization of art and the primacy of the idea over its physical presence. For example, the works of the artist González Torres include one called Candy Spills, in which wrapped sweets are piled on the floor to be taken and consumed by viewers. When the pile has gone, the owner of the work replenishes it. So what stops anyone making and selling their own candy spill? The answer is the certificate of authenticity issued by the artist. This scrap of paper is in fact the only proof that the work of art genuinely belongs to you, and this is actually what you buy and sell. But the system is not without its pitfalls, as the proud owner of one wall drawing by a minimalist artist discovered. The artist's work is drawn directly onto a wall, and so cannot be transported. Every time a work is sold, it has to be recreated on a new wall from the instructions contained in the original certificate. A long court battle ensued after the owner consigned his work to a gallery which managed to irrevocably mislay the piece of paper, and so effectively the work itself